Hello, and welcome to What the Fuck Happened Last Week. If you're asking yourself what the fuck happened last week, you're in the same boat as I am. And let me tell you, I usually ask it every day. What the fuck happened yesterday? What the fuck happened yesterday? Welcome to our first episode ever, and every week has special meanings or sayings, and when you say them, we all go dog-ass crazy for them. Alright? So, this week's dog-ass crazy word is STFU. Cause we all need to learn to shut the fuck up every once in a while. Isn't that fun? Now we have a long show and a special show put together for us to get through today, so let me go ahead and start. And what we got to start out with, let me tell you what happened to me. I was riding down the road, right, minding my own business, but I had to go pee real bad. So I was speeding. Of course I was. I was just doing 60 in a 35 mile an hour zone. Not much, right? And boom! There it was. Woo woo! The lights behind my car. I was like, fuck, he's gonna ruin my day. So I pull over and I hear him get out of the car. He's like, what kind of fucking moron does 60 in a 35 mile an hour zone? I know, okay? What can I say? I'm an asshole. But I had to pee, and I didn't want to pee on myself. So he comes up to my car, and he leans over, and he goes, what's your fucking problem, sir? And I panic, and I use my best slow voice, and I look at him, and I'm like, officer, I gotta go pee real bad. And he was caught off guard. He felt bad for calling me a moron. Well, that sumbitch said, all right, but show me your license and I'll let you go. Well, I just reached in my glove compartment right next to me and I started swapping around wondering where the fuck is my license? I know it's over here somewhere. I move it over and I move it to the left and move it to the right and there's just nothing in here I need. Oh, my Glock. I pull out my Glock and I look at it. It's a nice Glock. It's a really nice one. And I show it to the officer and he takes it and he looks at it and he tells me how nice it is because it's a real nice Glock. What can I say? I'll show it to you one day. And then he hands it back and I'm like, thanks, officer. And then I remember, I'm so stupid. I put my gun down and then I look down and my wallet is right next to me this whole time. I didn't even have to go in the glove compartment. So I take my wallet and I hand it to the officer and I'm like, all right, find it, hide and seek. Cause I'm still waiting to go pee. And he's taking up my time and I gotta pee bad. So the officer looks through it and he's like, okay, your license looks fine. And he gives it back to me. He didn't even walk over and check it at his car. Why even pull me over? Wasn't that a funny story? Yeah, that was a funny story, huh? Especially if you're white. Not everybody can do that. There are some people watching this video suffering from PTSD right now. People have to watch their movements. They have to worry about it. Doesn't that seem weird? And that right there is white privilege, let me tell you. And if you don't believe in it, then you're blind. It's ridiculous to be upset that someone says that we need to focus on not killing black Americans. And then there's other Americans out there going, but all lives matter. Really? Some people need to learn to shut the fuck up. Top story. of course, it's George Floyd and everything else that's been going on. You know, the states, they've seen all kinds of breakout and protests, mostly peaceful, but there have been riots, and people have just gotten really tired of a lot of bullshit. Our brothers and sisters, our American citizens, are being killed, and nothing is being done about it. And people are tired of it. They really are. And no matter what we do, the cops seem to have come out of these things unscathed. Unscathed. It's ridiculous. Not even a tap on the wrist. And the country was tired of it. It's not just about George Floyd. It's about everything systemic, all the way down the line, from the judicial system to the police. It is something that has to change. And Americans are fed up with it. A lot of white people like to use Martin Luther King and talk about how peaceful he was. And they forget that he was shot. And that was 60 years ago. And we have been fighting this fight for 60 years. But this is a fight that's been going on and on since the beginning of this country. Since before the beginning of this country. Go and protest peacefully. Go with a buddy and film everything. If you get attacked by someone, anyone, you defend yourself. You make sure that you don't become a victim too. And that's where I've come up with our new viral challenge. The new viral challenge is called This Little Piggy Went to Sleep. If you and your friend are attacked by a police officer, put that bitch in a chokehold and he will go down. Now, you need to place one muscle here and one muscle here and make sure that you keep it pressed. That should make them fall asleep. Just fall asleep. It'll be fine. Now, you might mess up the first few times, and you might kill a couple of murderous cops. Practice makes perfect! Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be assholes. Lakewood, Ohio. They decided they wanted to throw food on somebody just because they were black. It was a black woman walking by. They threw food at her. The cops were called. They came out and they looked at the kids who were white. And they looked at the woman and they said, well, they can't really press charges. There's no sense in it. It makes no sense. The kids just did something wrong. Now, I have come to the conclusion, not as a parent, but as a human being. I'm not a parent. Do you want these genes out there? No, you do not. But let me tell you, kids need to be put in their place. Of course, we can't beat the hell out of them anymore. Gone are the good old days. But what you can do is you can scare the shit out of them because they're whiny ass little brats. Speaking of whiny ass little brats, let's talk about Trump. What has that orange Oompa Loompa been up to in all of this? Well, first, he decided to attack the First Amendment. He was like, oh no, they can't be protesting. We got to do something about it. Let's send in the military. Like he can send in the military. Oh, he just attacked the First Amendment with every piece of his orange being. Then he went after the Third Amendment with the military, wanting to send in the military. Of course, what he doesn't know, and what's obvious about him not knowing, is the Third Amendment says that you cannot send in troops to a state in peaceful times. Now, I know there were riots, but apparently the riots in Minnesota were caused by people outside of Minnesota. Every looter and rioter that was arrested in Minnesota was from out of state. And some have been traced back to white supremacist groups. And we know what white supremacist groups work for. They love their Nazi leader, Trump, because we all know he's a Nazi. That after attacking the First Amendment and then the Third Amendment, Trump was worried about the Second Amendment. Because he damn sure can't do anything about the guns because all the gun nuts go after him. So Trump built a little chicken fence around the White House so that he could go and become bunker bitch because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up.
Good evening, I'm Ron Price, and I am your guide to all the entertainment. It's very fitting that I am your guide to all the entertainment because you may recognize my face from some of my most important roles. You may recognize me more in this position. Or this position, or sometimes I catch instead of pitching, and I make this face. So, yeah, you've probably caught some of my work and know that I explore everywhere when it comes to my characters. But anyway, enough about me. Let's get on with the entertainment, no? Yes. Welcome to Ron Price's Guide to Entertainment. Anybody who wants anything, just email me. And I will announce it, no matter who you are. There is no small roles, only small penises. Yes. Let's get started, shall we? First off, I would like to say, dear Netflix, could you please invest in actual trailers? It doesn't take much to get those done, right? They're easy to clip together. Just chop, 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 and you have something and you can see what the movie's like instead of just watching 2 minutes and not being able to see shit. Am I right? Yes, of course. Yeah, you know. But I don't like to badmouth Netflix too much. Maybe they'll be calling me about some of my work. You never know. But I would like to say that Netflix is bringing back Unsolved Mysteries! Is that not amazing? Let me tell you, when I was a teenager-ish, I'm not going to tell you how old I was, but Unsolved Mysteries used to scare the shit out of me. That scary-ass music would start to play, and I would shit my pants. And then that freaky guy would get up there with his suave, scary, "Hello, welcome to Unsolved Mysteries. Today we're going to figure out maybe you murdered someone." And then they would have the updates, right? Right? Am I right? Oh my god, it was scary. But that does remind me of the one time I was in this film called Unsolved Mysteries of Uranus. I'm sure everyone has saw that one. It was a blockbuster. It had over 1 million views. You can find it now on Pornhub, and you can enjoy it. It's about me and a woman. I found a woman on Uranus, and I decided to boldly go where no man had gone before. And Cindy Flopper was my co-star. Cindy Flopper, she was amazing. Let me tell you, she had moves that no one would ever forget. There is a new Harry Potter book coming out, apparently. It's Harry Potter and the Curse of the Bitchy Ass Turf. no, really, J.K. Rowling just opened her mouth again and pissed everybody off. She, just in case you don't know what TERF means, it means trans exclusionary radical feminist. Does that tell you everything you need to know? Yeah, but poor J.K. Rowling. She, you know, if you don't die a Harry Potter, you're just gonna live long enough to be your own Voldemort, right? Oh, really? I just hear Hermione right now. No, it's transphobia, not transphobia. I would like to say there are always moments in history that are firsts, you know, and the first whatever. I'm proud to announce and kind of weirded out that finally Stevie Nicks has been accepted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she is the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's something to celebrate. It's 2020 and there have been no women inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who knew the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was nothing but a sausage fest? Wow, that is fucked up. Yeah, but you know, it's just mostly because they put men in there to shut them up, because men don't know when to shut the fuck up. Here is an example about why men can't write erotica. Yes, it's Exhibit A. Yep. Take your time, look at it, read it. Isn't that just lovely? Oh, poor men. Oh, that's just... yeah, it's not good. Not good at all. Her boobs were in sync with her eyes rolling. How does that happen? Oh, I've been in the industry for a long time, and let me tell you, well, when she's on her back, I guess you can... it could happen if she was on her back. Yeah, I guess. Maybe. Maybe you're winning me over. Maybe we should let men write more. No, scratch that. I'm absolutely wrong. Go on. Oh, but they are testing, apparently, Tilda Swinton to replace David Bowie, because they're starting to leak things and say, oh, what do you think about this with Tilda Swinton? And I gotta say, I think that it would be perfect for Tilda Swinton to replace David Bowie. It makes sense. She looks a lot like him. She'd be great in the role, but I hope that they don't forget that extra character and make sure she has a codpiece. I have a couple of reincarnations of my big large member, as you know. That's where my talent is in my member. You know, don't hate it. Don't hate the player. I think they're getting ready to do the Boondocks again. Yeah? And we found a new Uncle Ruckus. But it's a woman. Oh! I need to shut the fuck up. Welcome to Aunt Bean's corner of the RV. Welcome.
I am what's known as a meme lord. You're gonna find out why in just a minute. But before we start off, I would like to say that in current situations, we need to learn to shut the fuck up. And just listen sometimes instead of coming up with an answer. Because to be honest, the only answer that I can think of that would help the situation is for every white person to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, mostly Lowe's because Home Depot's found their gifts to Trump, and get yourself one of them shovels and walk around with it. And if a cop gets out of line, just put on your Facebook Live and bludgeon them. That might not help society, so I'm just going to shut up and listen to other people make suggestions, okay? Now, scientists have found the future that liberals want. Yeah, just look at it. Doesn't it look shameful? This is the future liberals want, maybe. But I can tell you one damn thing. It's the future Aunt Bean wants. Nom 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 nom. Whips and chains. What more can you ask for? My recipe this week includes mashed taters. You know, most people get in there and they put your cream and your butter and all that shit in there, and you're just asking for a heart attack. So what I do is I just boil down the potatoes and I get them right and soft, and then I put a little bit of salt in it, and then I cool it off a little bit and I pour vodka in it. Usually I only pour half a bottle in it because I drank the other half bottle. You know, judge me if you want to, but the one thing you can't say about me is I'm not a good time. Here's a picture of my vagina. Yeah, looks fun, don't it? It is a bloody good time, and it is also 2020. But if you want to complain about my vagina, here, take a number. If you want to complain about my jokes, take a number. If you want to complain about anything I've done, take a number. Pull real hard. I cracked myself up. But you should know what that means. Keep talking. Yeah, you hear me say keep talking, but you know what I mean. Back in my day, when someone said keep talking, that meant shut the fuck up. We have found proof that Trump is actually an amphibious being, because there's a picture of him with the hydrochloroquine. I'm pretty sure that's a real picture. You see how he's all shriveled up? Well, apparently when he gets scared, like when he became bunker bitch and went down to the bunker to check it out and make sure it was okay, he kind of bloated up a little bit, just like this. Yeah. So apparently he's like an amphibious alien running around in his Oompa Loompa suit. Who would have thunk it? Those name games going around. Y'all seen them? Those name games. They say that if you do those name games, that they can get your name and your information and steal your identity. First off, you steal my identity, you're fucked. I can barely afford to live in this trailer park. Lucky for you. Go ahead, steal my identity. Now this one's pretty fun because it says, what does it say? The first letter of your name will be the first, apparently, middle name
Supposed to be the name of my next poetry book. I never wrote poetry. I don't know anything about it. But hey, there's always the first time, right? So my poetry book, and I'm going to try to get it out by December, is going to be called Catching Trout with a 5-iron. Catching trout with a 5-iron. You know, that's how I used to catch dates. No women didn't want to be with me because I was so, so I'd just walk up to them with a 5-iron and say, hey, you want to go golfing? Sometimes they would, but, I needed me a good butch girl like myself. I'm a lover. What can I say? Go, Commander! Oh, yeah, I like that one too. Just because I'm making these jokes doesn't mean I want a dick pic in my inbox, right? Yeah, because most of them look like this. Vader with his burnt hot dog. But to be honest, I'm not that picky. I take it. You free Hayden? Let's do this. I have to let you know that Thanos has been outdone. We have Blanos. See, he's obviously superior because he has 2 gauntlets. 2. This is one of the most expensive coffees you can find. And that's because of the way that it's made. It's called Kopi Luwak or some shit like that. And let me tell you something. It looks like it tastes good, but I don't think I ever want to try it. Because what happens is, civets, a little cat, eats it. And it ferments in the belly, and then they shit it out. And then they take the little coffee cherries, and it's ready for the coffee. Yeah, that's just messed up. But I do have to say one thing. I have to say one thing. There are people out there that get paid to walk around plantations to pull coffee and shit out of civets' asses.